Hello. So I'm going to introduce you to smoothie making. There is definite process and an art to making a good smoothie. This has come through trial and error for the past couple of years now. And I don't know, it comes from just a process of discovery. I always choose organic ingredients. I try to blend in a bunch of different things. I've been told that the longer it takes to make one of these, usually the better it is. So I'll try to simplify that process for you, maybe speed this up, but let's jump right in. So first off, you want to make sure when you make a smoothie using the Nutra Ninja here, when you make one, you want to make sure that you get the stuff that's heaviest on the where it's going to be on the top and cause everything to fall together. So I'm not actually going to use any like leafy greens like spinach or kale, although that can be really good to throw into one of these. I'm not going to use the fresh greens. I'm going to use some ground up green powder. But I always start with strawberries because eventually that's going to have enough weight to push everything down into the blades on the blender. That's one of the big things when you make a smoothie. People have trouble getting it all to blend because they put the light stuff on the top and it doesn't get down to the bottom. So if you have a blender where you're filling it up on top of the blades, you want to save the strawberries and heavy stuff for last. So I'm putting, heavy strawberries, heavy blueberries in here first because that's actually going to force the rest of the weight of that's going to force everything else down onto the blades. Next, I usually add a few walnuts. I like to add a few nuts. Nuts are good for you, healthy for you. Not too many. This is a bonus. These are really expensive. I made it to Natural Grocers and got a few. These are really good in salads, these pinon pine nuts. I'm not going to add too many of those because those are like a fortune. Another thing I like to add is, for some antioxidants, is just some pure dark chocolate. Cacao nibs would be good here too. If you don't, this was on sale, so just going to throw in a little bit of that. Some things that I use for antioxidation and inflammation, like turmeric. I've got some organic turmeric here, and I've been told, reading up, that a lot of the studies that show this is effective on inflammation recommend a teaspoon a day. And so there's a teaspoon of that. I've also read and personally experienced this is good for kidney stones, this Chanca piedra. That also, the studies that have been looking at this are using a teaspoon of Chanca piedra. This next powder is a reishi mushroom that has been shown to help with inflammation. I think there's some studies that suggest blood pressure. There's also been shown in some Mayo Clinic studies to help with certain types of cancer. It activates the immune system. And so I like to throw those in there as well. I try not to take the reishi every day because the long-term effects are unclear on, it could have some implications for the liver. This is just usually organic peas. This is protein powder. I like Orgain. This is the chocolate fudge flavor. I've also tried the plain, which is really good too. If you don't like chocolate, the plain flavor, vanilla, are out there. This is my greens, so I like to have the greens in here. It's called Greens Blend Superfood. This is kind of expensive. I've got the big bottle here on sale, but this gets a lot of my greens rather than the leafy stuff, which can take up a lot of space in the container too, where you don't end up having as much substance to the shake, to the protein shake. So, I'm definitely putting in the 2 scoops, which is 150 calories, and it's giving me quite a bit of protein, to make it through the day. So, 21 grams of plant protein with that dose. I'm going to also throw in a full banana. I like to break this up a little bit to where it blends. There's also a thing where I like to put the mushy stuff next to the blade because that'll pulverize and become liquid, and then everything else will fall into the blade. Let's see here. I also need to add in this kind of somewhat, it's not mushy, this is a good apple, good organic apple. Some fresh fruit. So I'm gonna throw in a couple of slices of a Honeycrisp apple here. And, you know, the apple a day saying and all that stuff. And this is really kind of a secret for texture. You really get a creamy texture if you use an avocado. And so I'm gonna scrape out this avocado. And this is obviously, it's more mushy. It's gonna, the blades are gonna blend it up, and it's gonna be then in more of a liquid form, causing everything else to fall into the blades and get a really nice blend together. So I don't want that skin in there. So that was a avocado from yesterday, but saved it in the fridge, so it's not quite colored as fresh as it once was. But we're about ready to blend. What is my liquid? What liquid do I use? So give me just a minute. So I use Forager oat milk, the organic dairy free. The one thing about this is the sugars are very low. You know, it's only 4 grams added sugars. That's pretty low. It's you can get into traps where you fill these things up with sugar. There's a line on here, max fill. Try not to go above that, or else when you push this in, all your ingredients will smash out over the sides. And that's happened before. That's never fun, because then you got a huge mess on your hands. But if you've got the mushy stuff next to the blades, you can smash this down and then twist this together. And then when you're ready, we've used this a lot. This thing's been around a while. I actually got this as a wedding present. It's been a long time. So you've got a lot of settings on here. I usually just like to hit pulse. You get some auto IQ where everything just fell. It's all blending together. So it's not just one thing blending at the end. So you can see about 45 seconds. Sometimes this thing will blend for longer than that. And, you know, using these auto IQ settings and things, but I'm not gonna do that here. So when you're done, you just simply twist this. You'll take this out, and here comes your smoothie. So it'll be stuck to the blades a little bit. I'm gonna tap that off, make sure I don't lose ingredients. I'll rinse that off in just a second. But this comes with a lid, it comes with a nice lid, so you can have a portable option. So twist that on. It looks like the consistency is gonna be a little bit too thick for this one, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water. You can see it's really slushy in there. But then, voila, this will be good to go. So anytime I've ever seen anybody make a food video, they consume what they made. So here, the obligatory take a drink of the smoothie that you've just made. So here it is. I added a little bit of water to help lessen the viscosity where it's a little bit more runny. A little runnier, but good stuff. You drink this whole thing, and it's a meal. It takes care of your protein and your vitamins. Anyway, hope this was helpful. Take care.